Welcome back to Red Truck Radio, the podcast where we roll up the doors and take you inside the stories that drive Wausau Supply Company forward. Today's episode is all about what happens behind the scenes, from warehouse to worksite, and how our distribution network keeps things moving with precision and purpose. We're diving into the power of seamless logistics and how our supply chain team ensures that products arrive on time, every time. Whether it's a remote job site or a bustling distribution center, the work behind the scenes makes all the difference. Joining me today are two of the key drivers behind that success. Bret, Loudy, Senior Director of Supply Chain, and Cole Petersen, Logistics and Key Projects Manager. They'll take us inside the systems, strategies, and tech tools that make Wausau's distribution network one of the most reliable in the industry and share how that reliability translates into real value for our customers. So buckle up, because we're about to hit the road and explore the journey from warehouse to worksite. Hey, good afternoon, guys. How you doing, Bret?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Good to have you. Cole, good to have you.
See you, Adam.
Yeah, you guys too. Know everybody's real busy, so for you guys to take the time out of the day, it's really important. Share with our viewers and listeners how important and what role logistics and supply chain play at Wausau Supply. I think a lot of time we think about the sale being the most important, but I would tell you, without good supply chain and distribution, the sale really doesn't matter. So let's talk a little bit about that. Hey, Bret, so from a high-level view, give us a little description and insight into the distribution network and what makes Wausau's distribution network maybe unique from others.
Yeah. So when I think about Wausau Supply, we really strive to be best in class, but we actually have to do it in two different ways. So how we started, it was a distributor, right? We'd buy a widget, we'd put it on the shelf, and we'd send it out. So we're striving to be, just in time, managing our inventory, making sure we have the right products for our customers. But as we've evolved, we're also a manufacturer. So all of the additional responsibilities and skills that come with that as well makes us a little bit unique. So we're distributing throughout the company or throughout the United States. We have over 20 distribution locations. And then we also, on the manufacturing side, we manufacture in 5 different states and a couple countries. And so it gets a little bit complex, but it's a challenge that we love.
That's awesome. Yeah, up to 20 warehouses across the country. That's amazing. A lot of expansion here recently. Tell me a little bit about the strategy of inventory in our products in the warehouse. Does every warehouse have the same mix across the country?
Yeah, it goes a little bit by each of our supplier partners, right? If we're a manufactured brand versus a distributed brand where we're partnering with our manufacturers and bringing them in, it definitely dictates like where the sales are, where you're selling the most decking or siding can indicate or can dictate how you stock and what your strategies are. Because not only do we have our buildings to utilize as a resource, but as Cole gets into it more, it's our logistics too. We have a lot of internal transfers that we can move product around. How you mentioned, right, getting the product there on time every time. We also, from the supply chain, look at I want the right product there at the right time, at the right quantity for the right person. There's lots of variation of that one. We have over 40,000 sellable SKUs. We inventory at any given time more than 10,000 of them in different combinations. And then there's a lot of opportunity to transfer something. If a customer's looking for something that we don't happen to have in their stocking warehouse, we can bring it in from a neighboring warehouse in a really competitive time frame.
Wow. So if I'm a customer or a contractor out there listening, really a customer serviced by more than just their local warehouse then is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, we get to leverage what we like to call it the big red machine or the big red truck, right? You're not just ordering from your local warehouse. You get a network that has lots of inventory, lots of options for you, depending on your color, your preference, what job site you have going on.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Cole, let's jump over to you. People might not really have an understanding of logistics and key projects. So give me a little insight to what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Adam. So we've been working with our final mile routing solution, which has been a huge project for us over the last 12 months. Really excited to get that one across the finish line here to provide some great insights as to how we can better service our customers. That's been a big project of ours, as well as our route analysis, trimming the fat where we need to reduce our empty miles to make sure that we're not impacting our customer expectations and what those look like, as well as working with the DC managers on a day-to-day basis to make sure their routes are flowing the way that they need to.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So my next question was going to be kind of talk about a key project you're working on. It sounds like this final mile is one. Could you maybe share some things? What benefits might our dealer customers, partners see from this final mile project you're working on?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of different value added things that we'll be bringing to the table with our final mile solution. For starters, it's going to be an electronic POD to where our customers are going to be able to sign electronically, where in the past they've had to sign several different delivery documents, and we'll be moving to one document, which is exciting. As well as we'll have our e-commerce platform will have the ability to track real time what our drivers are doing and share that with the customers real time. So that should help reduce our customer service interactions as well, and make a streamlined, more efficient way of going about and communicating with our customers. Really excited to kind of be that easiest company to do business with, and the final mile solution helps us get there.
That's awesome. I hear a lot at Wausau Supply about the easiest company to do business with. This sounds like that'll take us one step further in that direction. I think, the building material industry sometimes seems to lag behind in technology, but I see Wausau Supply really leading the forefront in that way. And this final mile seems to be another step in that, really delivering almost that Amazon type or Domino's delivery, kind of track your pizza while we can track our order. So I think that'll be a great service for our customers. There's got to be a lot of complexity in what you do, Cole. Tell me a little bit about how you work cross-functionally with the rest of the groups to ensure, continuity and smoothness of operations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, communication is key, right? We need to make sure that we're communicating with each other. We're treating all of the rest of the owners as a part of this company, and we all want to see it succeed. And so I think that when we talk about cross-functional communication, it's developing those KPIs to help explain the need and to help justify the need for a certain task or objective. And then it's really driving with the employee owners cross-functionally to, make sure we're communicating well.
That's it. I know we're all in meetings quite a bit, so we do communicate very well internally. So that's great. Bret, I'm going to come back to you. Always looking for tools and technology to help us. The importance of a timely delivery. I've always said, I don't know that a customer so much cares when they're going to get their product, but once we confirm to them when they're going to get it, it's living up to that expectation. So what systems or processes do you have in place that help ensure that timeliness of delivery?
Yeah, I've heard you say that a few times, right? But we measured a few different ways. As Cole alluded to, like KPIs or key performance indicators, or what does good look like? And from that perspective, our customer's perspective, there's a few things that they have visibility through our e-commerce site. What we plan to inventory. So what inventory is on the ground? What do we plan to inventory? So when they're quoting out their job, they have an expectation saying, if I sell this job, what lead time can I provide to my contractor and to my homeowner? So having the stock on hand that you profess to have on hand is one thing that we monitor a lot. We call it our CO fill rate, or our customer order fill rate. But the other one is just meeting expectations. So regardless if I inventory it or it's an orders needed item that I have to bring in either from a partner or manufacturer, or Cole has to put it on a truck and move it over, we want to set a clear expectation at that time of the order. And then we want to track to that, right? Unless they call back in and ask for more or change the dynamic in some way, it's very important for us to hit that original expectation or promise date, what we like to do. So those are the two kind of indicators that we really rely on to make sure how are our customers experiencing our service.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. As our customers continue to evolve and look for different ways to be serviced, I think we still have fax machines. We still have a great customer service team, but a lot of people are looking more for that digital experience. Through the supply chain team, am I hearing that our customers through our e-commerce site have full visibility to the inventory that's in their warehouse?
Yeah. There are some caveats to that, but if we don't, we can stock them something at their warehouse, but we also say we have all of Wausau Supply supporting you. So where else do you have a problem? And maybe I have a job that needs 15 pieces and you have 10 pieces of deck board. What does that look like? Do I have to wait for a manufacturer on the East Coast to get my job done? What does that look like? So yes, they have a lot of visibility into it, and they can go right in our website, see what inventory is there, but they're saying, I have a little bit different expectations, or I have a very specific amount. They can plug that in right into our website, and it'll tell them exactly when it's going to get delivered on their truck. Even if it's a few weeks out, it can get to that specificity.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So Cole, coming back to you, why don't you share maybe if you have a story about where your team has overcome maybe some delivery challenges? Those things come up all the day. It's human nature. So how do you and your team deal with those types of things?
Yeah, appreciate the question, Adam. And I want to start out by saying I think you're absolutely right. I've seen it, from every DC across the network, day in and day out. Our team is customer obsessed, and we make sure that we hit our deliveries when the customer needs them. From taking a delivery on a pickup truck that a customer needs in a pinch, we're going to do what we can to help them out. Specifically, there's scenarios where, a customer may have some construction at their, receiving location, and, we'll have to adjust on the fly. This happened just last week where we had to, basically we were running the delivery, and it just so happened that our driver passed by and called me right away and said, "Hey, look, we're going to have a tough time getting this customer delivered." So I got on the horn with them right away, and I said, "Listen, our customer or our driver's having a tough time getting into your yard. Let's figure out how we can approach this and get your delivery delivered to you." So we ended up, switching out equipment, getting a piece of equipment that could fit into that location, and we got the customer's delivery delivered that same day.
That's awesome. It's all about servicing the customer and just finding a way. I think one of the mantras that we live by here at Wausau is a day's work in a day, and making sure that we, live up to our expectations to our customers. So Bret, coming back to you, understanding technology, being part of a recent ERP upgrade here in the last couple of years at Wausau Supply.
Yep.
We're on the other side, now really being able to use that technology to deliver even a higher degree of service to our customer. What part of that technology is most critical in supply chain to helping you manage a business?
Yeah, so the ERP or the software that you're talking about, I always refer to it as like the brain of it. So it's taking all your inputs, it's all your customer demands, it's all the routes that we can do, all our capabilities that we have through our product lines and our manufacturing capacity. And it really kind of aggregates those in together. So it's always really important to get a look into the future. What do you think is going to happen? How can I predict what my customer is going to do? How can I anticipate those needs? So we worked really closely with sales. How can we forecast? How can we plan our demand so that when they order it, I might not know exactly who's going to order it, but I have a pretty good idea of who and when that might pop. So we use a lot of the ERP settings and capabilities to review our safety stocks. What's our seasonality? Where are the customer and consumer trends going as we get more and more obsessed with color and style? Those trends changed a lot. So staying in good contact with the sales team on where we're forecasting and really mining that data that we produce every day through our platform to best predict what's going to happen in the future.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really been an evolution here with the new system. It's really the voice of sales, hearing the voice of the customer, ears to the ground out in the field, but then marrying that up with technology. And I think we're coming to a great place that, again, all what it delivers is just a better level of service to our customers.
Yeah. The amount of data that we have, even with our e-commerce website, we can see who's looking on it, what states there are, what roles they have, what colors they're trending with, and we utilize that data a lot better, again, to get better with our anticipation of our customers' needs.
That's awesome. Is there anything on the horizon here from a technology standpoint that you're looking forward to implementing in the supply chain?
Yeah, it comes down to that demand planning and forecasting tool. When we have all those combinations between, you could sell 40,000 different widgets, they're all different sizes and shapes. Utilizing all of that data, supply chain is ripe for, the AI kind of revolution that's happening, and just the machine learning that you can have. The sophistication that it can take trends and analysis, and even figure out how often it snowed in a particular month and how that impacted your sales. So that really gives us a better forward-looking demand plan. So that's one of the technologies that we're working on and evaluating right now, is how do we get more sophisticated in our demand planning tools.
Excellent. Great to hear. So Cole, coming to you maybe on that technology piece, what are the tools that you rely most on in your area to deliver to our customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. And I'm gonna go back and talk a little bit more about our final mile piece, right? But before we had final mile, we had a very manual route entry process, where daily routes were manually entered into Samsara, where they were not tied and linked to M3. Whereas today we've been able to implement final mile and get those deliveries tracked directly into final mile in order for us to route more effectively. Not only does that, allow us the ability to, route more effectively. The time that it takes to route deliveries is cut significantly, but it also provides our customers with an experience that is second to none for our business.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. So maybe for both of you guys here, how do you feel that our distribution strategy supports our customer success? What do you think are the components that really lend to helping them be successful?
I always kind of look at it as we are fulfilling the promises of our sales reps out in the field and our customer service reps that are taking like transactional information. So our salespeople say, what's the value to us? Why? How can we help our customers' business? How can we make them service their customers, whether it be the contractors or homeowners, better? So we're always thinking like, how does that orchestra look? If you almost say it's like a symphony where you have the promising and the capabilities that the sales team and the customer service put out there, and then behind the scenes, whether there's supply chain or manufacturing or logistics, we're trying to make sure that we meet or exceed the commitments that we've already promised to them so that we can provide value to our customers and make them look good and grow their business. So it's really that combination of saying, the sales understand what our capabilities are, what we can promise and reliably deliver, and then making sure everyone behind the scenes, once we capture that sales, can go execute and meet our commitments so we make our customers look good.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Cole, kind of on that same front, you probably get to talk to, in my career in sales, some of the best information comes from our truck drivers. A lot of times they're seeing our customers more than our salespeople are, to be honest with you. So you, I'm sure, have a lot of interaction with our drivers. Are you getting any feedback as we start to launch these new technologies and initiatives? Are they getting feedback from our customers? How's that coming across?
Yeah, our Wausau Supply Company drivers are really the face of our company when they're making deliveries. The customer service that those individuals provide is second to none, and really appreciate it. Really have been getting good positive feedback from the majority of our network. I myself have personally experienced it while training the final mile the final mile solution with our drivers, and I'm really excited to be able to bring this to the table.
That's awesome. So just to close things out, how do you see supply chain and logistics evolving to meet the future needs of the customer?
Well, one, you have a little bit of the consumer trends that I mentioned before. There's a lot broader breadth of colors and styles that people can marry together. So that makes your inventory, positioning a little trickier. And you do have to rely on that technology to leverage all the effort and labor that all kind of our owner and operators put into this. So in that aspect, that's what we really see as growth in saying, we have hardworking, intelligent people. How do we can force multiply their efforts? And a lot of times it's going to be the technology that helps us and sets us apart. So
that's it. Well, I'm excited to be part of the evolution of Wausau Supply. I think we continue to lead the forefront on technology, value delivery to our customers, and that's truly what we need to do to continue to grow and deliver that value to the customer. So it's been great having you guys in here. Really appreciate you stopping by. I'm sure our listeners are excited and glad to hear how you guys are helping Wausau Supply deliver the best value to our customers.
Thanks for having us.
That's a wrap on today's journey through Wausau's distribution network, from warehouse to worksite. A big thanks to Bret Loudy and Cole Petersen for giving us a behind-the-scenes look at the systems, strategies, and tech that keep our supply chain running strong. It's clear that seamless logistics aren't just about moving product. They're about delivering trust, reliability, and value to our customers every single day. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow Red Truck Radio wherever you listen, and share it with a teammate who'd appreciate the inside scoop on how Wausau keeps moving things. Until next time, keep driving forward, and we'll see you down the road.